Good morning. I'm going to do a drugstore makeup today. The last video that I did, it was all quite high end, so I've got some drugstore makeup, so I'm going to use that. I've put my skin prep on and I've put a foundation on, which was my, where's it gone? Elf Camo, which I've used a couple of times. I used a very, very, very thin layer, and then I don't have a drugstore concealer, so I just popped on my Natasha Denona, which isn't at all drugstore, but I don't have a drugstore concealer, sadly. But so everything else is going to be, whether we like it or not, is going to be drugstore, and I don't know if we're going to like it, to be honest. Because this is so sticky, I think I'm going to powder down, and I'm using the Rimmel Match Perfection powder in translucent 001, transparent 001. So let's see what this does. I'll tap a little. Oh gosh, there's quite a lot that's come out already. So I'm going to do that, and I'm going to just get my brush nice and filled. And I'm going to do my under eye last, when I've got the least powder on my brush, so that I don't overload my under eye with too much powder, which will settle into the creases, but who knows, we shall see. It's already happening. Can you see it's already happening? Oh dear. She says not piling it on and then piling it on, but there we are. So that's that. I'm going to see if this works, actually. Just press it in with a damp sponge to see whether that will blend a bit better. I don't know. See where my glasses have been. There we go. Now then, eyeshadow. I have this little elf palette, which doesn't say what it is actually, but it's should be quite easy. 4 colours, light to dark. I'm no expert on multicoloured eyeshadow, so I'm not sure I'm going to use all of them, but I'm going to give it a go. So I'm going to first of all use the, hang on, I'm going to use this one, that one there, second one along, as a, put in my crease. And because I am a hooded eye girly, I'm going to lay this down as lightly as possible so that I don't move my eyelids, because they are, shall we say, less firm than they used to be in the olden days. So the lighter the pressure, even though it takes time, the lighter the pressure, the less the skin moves, and you don't get all that skipping. Have I got skipping? The other thing is I have this area here which never accepts shadow for some reason. But there we go. That's that one. And that's a matte shadow. There we go. Now with the same brush, I'm just going to slightly clean it off with my hand. Oh, I promise I won't sniff like I did yesterday, because my allergies are just like beyond anything that's like human. And I'm just going to, actually, you know what? I'm going to use an even smaller brush. Now, I don't actually know what make this is. It's Eco something. And I'm going to try and put this... And I'm going to do what everybody says, which is actually pat rather than swipe, so that I don't move my eyelid again, but just put the colour where I want it to be. Can you hear my pheasants squawking in the background? They are, I live in the country, in the countryside in the southwest of England, and sometimes driving home, it's like driving home through a safari park. There's bunny rabbits and deer and pheasant wandering around all over the place. You have to be really careful not to accidentally run one over. Then I'm going to go to the darker colour, which I'm actually a little bit afraid of, this one on the end. And I am again going to take a, this is a Bobbi Brown dual-ended shadow brush, actually. Sorry, it's not drugstore, but there's a limit. So I'm going to put this on the outer corner. You see, and again, just tap. Just tap, so I can get it where I want it to be. See? And again, and then this one. I'm sorry you won't be able to see this side, but I'll show you in a second. There we go. Is that even? Is that even? This is the stage that I find the hardest, actually, because you have to try and match them somehow, and it's not always that easy. See? Anyway, we'll see what happens when I put the other one on. And then my last shadow is going to be, and what I'm going to do, what am I going to do? I am going to take a flat brush, and I'm going to pop this first colour, all across my lid, apart from here. And I'm actually going to spray it with a mist. See if I can get as much on as possible. These these shadows are quite low they're not very pigmented, which is good if you're not an expert, because it means you have to go quite slowly. But I think people with more expertise might find it quite frustrating. There you go, what do you think? That's it there. And just join it a little bit here and a little bit here. And sniff again, sorry. And then I'm going to take this third colour again, which I put at the bottom of my crease. I'm just going to pop that on the join of the lighter shadow and the darker shadow, so that it fades into it. Then I'm going to go back to my Bobbi Brown dual-ended, use the other side, and just add a tiny bit of the darker shadow under my eye. Really, really, really small amount with the lightest touch, and I'm only doing 3/4 of the eye. There, that's it. Right, no fallout though. Just a hair, but no fallout. That's quite good, actually. Thank you, Elf. Okay, right. So now I'm going to take my my L'Oreal pencil, eyeliner pencil in Perfect Espresso, and it's nice and sharp. And just, it's quite hard to spread over the shimmery elf shadows. I am doing all along the lash line at the top. I'm trying to anyway, but it's not doing a great job of sticking to. But see, that's quite nice actually. Again, here you can see, I don't know, I can't really do that. I'm going to do it this way. But just take my word for it. It's really hard. I mean, that's the colour that it should be. And I don't know whether warming it up on my hand might make it a little bit better to lay down. It lays down fine over the matte eyeshadows, but not so easily the shimmers. There we go. Right, I'm just going to quickly put some mascara on, which I'm going to do off camera, but it's going to be the e.l.f. Lash Extender in black. Oh no, this is brown. I'm going to try brown. I'm going to do brown. There we go. I'm really trying to like brown mascara because it's just softer somehow, but as I don't have that many eyelashes, and what I do have are so thin and fine, it's taking a bit of getting used to be honest. I'm not finding this being very extending, but as I'm looking for a more natural look, it's not actually too bad. But not dramatic, but maybe that's fine. Okay, so now I don't have a bronzer that is a cream bronzer in drugstore, so I'm going to use the Rimmel Natural Bronzer, and that's in 001 Sunlight. So now I'm not very good at powder, so let's give it a go. See what happens. Now this time I am going to remember to start on the outside where I expect to get more colour, and then slowly drag it in to my cheek where it's supposed to sort of blend itself out. So again, on the outside, I've always been the nightmare person where I put it right on my cheek and then try and drag it back, and that's not the thing to do. So just dragging it up, a little bit across the top. I try and darken down here because it's all a bit saggy and droopy, so that's going to go there. Now, I don't even know if you can see it, to be honest, but I can. In the mirror I can. And I definitely don't have a contour in a drugstore. Not sure if it's laying down correctly on that side, but do I have a bit more colour in my face? Yeah, I think I do actually. All right, okay, so that's that. Now for the killer. So I went and bought ages ago a NYX Buttermelt blush, and I decided I was going to, it's this one, and wait till you see the colour, it's a nightmare. I'm going to see, totally not me. And because it goes down quite, I'm going to use the same brush, and actually this is a Charlotte Tilbury something brush for powder and sculpt, which is fine actually, so that's fine. Sorry, I just don't have all the... What if I do actually? Wait a minute. Okay, this is an e.l.f. brush, and this is the Putty bronzer brush, and it's got that angle here, you can see. So I'm going to try it. I'm just going to tap it really lightly because I can't tell you how lightly I'm tapping this, and it's on my brush already. So I'm going to try. Oh dear, oh Lord. Again, I'm going to tap, not swipe, because I don't want to move the other stuff that I've put down. Can you? Oh yeah, that looks... I can't, honestly, it's literally, it's hardly touching the colour, the palette. And then I'm blending it on the back of my hand so that it's a very scary brush. It is. Blush, brush, blush. See, I've done it there. I've put too much on there. See if I can buff that out. There we go. There. It's really frustrating because you sort of want to be just getting on with it, and you can't because you have to be so careful. See, look at that on my nose. I only just tapped it in. There. That's the best I can do. Okay. Now, because I need to sort my eyebrows out. Now you can see my eyebrows aren't terrible, but I am going to use the Builder Brow to see whether I could just put a few more. See, I've already done, look at that, I've already done too much. So you have to be so gentle. And the best thing that I found is to just get any spoolie if you make that mistake, and very quickly try and blend it out so that it doesn't look like one hideous great big lump, you see. And then I've got a gap there which I've just filled. That's okay. And actually what I should have done is I should have just brush my eyebrows to where I want them to be, and then just see where the gaps are. And here's one. Again, such fine strokes. Otherwise you end up in all sorts of trouble, which I've done there already. See? Too much. Spoolie it out. It's a new technical phrase. And again, because I'm trying to be natural, I'm just going to just leave it at that and not overdo it. And then I'm going to use the other end, which is my gel. Now, I haven't used the gel, so it'll be interesting to see what this does and whether it lasts all day. I haven't seen that many reviews of the gel. It seems to be quite laminating. Can you see? That's that. So I think that is the eyes. The only thing I want to do with my eyes is see if I can soften this line. Because it is a bit harsh. And I don't normally wear mascara on the bottom lashes. I still believe that old thing about it closes up your eyes. Whether it does or not, I don't know, but on a makeup like this, it's not necessary. Right, now what I want to do, I've got one last thing to do. I got this Revolution, it's supposed to be baking powder in pink, and it's the last thing that I do with my under eyes, actually, to just swipe it to see whether it just gives me a bit more of a brightening sense under my eyes, because I think I might have eyeshadow in my eye now that I've done that. And then before I do anything else, I'm just going to spray. Now this is Tatcha, and ignore it because it's not drugstore. And I'm going to do my lip. Now I do have I've always wanted to do a nude lip. Now, because I'm so weird colour wise, it always washes me out. So that's the e.l.f. Oh, let me just see what that is actually. That's the e.l.f. in Hustle, and this is just a e.l.f. cream lip liner. So what I'm hoping to do, that's the e.l.f. colour. I'm sorry, it doesn't say what colour it is, so I can't even tell you, but I'm going to try and put this mostly all over my lips so that it'll tone down the orange of the Hustle. So good luck me. This is such a lovely brown. I'm so sorry, I can't tell you what it is. Slightly overline at the bottom, which may or may not be a mistake. There. And as I said yesterday, I do, or in my last video, I do try and give myself a little bit more volume on that little bit there, because you see how it dips down, it makes me look sad. So I just try and just give it a bit more volume. I don't overline my lips, and I don't try and cover up my Cupid's bow because I look stupid. I just don't have the technique. I can't get over how red that blusher is after how little I put on my brush. It's incredible, actually. Right, so that's my lipstick with no name. And now let's try the see what happens. Oh, see, look at that. So all I can do really is put the tiniest amount in the middle. Does it work? Not really. It especially doesn't work with this blusher, actually, because the blusher is so red. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a little bit more of my bronzer and see if I can slightly tone down the colour of this red. without losing too much definition. Is that better? I don't know. There we go. And that's it. Makeup for the day. I will very quickly go away and do my hair and then come back. Right, there we go. Hair. This is I'm quite early on in my Embrace the Curls curly hair journey. So this is 3rd day curls, which has obviously dropped out completely, but it's fine. I've looked in the mirror at this makeup actually in natural light, and I'm really impressed with this little e.l.f. palette that I had. I only wish I could tell you what it was, but it's one of, I think there's 4 of them, but it's the one that's the most neutral, as it were. I'm really impressed with that. I actually do like the blush, but it's the wrong colour, and that's my fault, not NYX's fault. But I would say proceed with caution because it is quite it's very pigmented, and you'll just end up with a whole blotch on your face that you can't get rid of. I love the NYX lip liner. Again, can't tell you what colour it is, but hopefully you've got enough information to go on if you want it. Not sure about the lipstick. Again, wrong colour, but that's my fault, not anybody. Excuse me, not anybody else's. My eyebrows seem to be fine. See, that's not too bad. And my e.l.f. Camo seems to be holding up, but it's early days yet. But I'm not shiny. And actually, yeah, I think that's it. I'm done. Might do something. Well, I've got to wash my hair, actually. That's the problem with it. But anyway, so there you go. That is today's amateur makeup.